It happens in less than a second. You're standing in a doorway, or passing a stranger on the street, or opening an old jacket you haven't worn in years, and a smell reaches you before you even register what it is. Before you've even named the smell, before you know what it is, you're somewhere else. A kitchen you haven't stood in for 20 years, a specific afternoon, a specific light, a person's voice you'd almost forgotten the sound of. You can feel the exact temperature of that room again. You can hear a radio playing something you haven't thought about since. No photograph has ever done this to you. No song hits quite this fast, or pulls you quite this far back, without warning, without asking permission first. You could scroll through 100 old photographs of that same kitchen and feel nothing close to this. One breath of the right smell, and you're standing inside it again. Something about smell, specifically, is doing something no other sense can do. And the reason is written directly into the wiring of your brain, sitting there, unnoticed, your entire life. Most people assume it's just nostalgia. That smell feels powerful because we don't rely on it as much as we used to, so any hit feels bigger by comparison. A weak sense, making a lot of noise out of habit. It's a reasonable guess. It's also completely wrong, and the real answer has nothing to do with how strong or weak your sense of smell is, and everything to do with a single piece of anatomy almost nobody ever gets taught. Every other sense you have follows the same basic route. Light hits your eye. Sound hits your ear. The signal travels to a structure called the thalamus, a kind of central switchboard, sitting deep in the middle of your brain. The thalamus sorts the signal, filters it, decides where it needs to go, and only then sends it onward to the parts of your brain that handle emotion and memory. It's a security checkpoint. Every sense passes through it. Every sense except one. Smell skips the checkpoint entirely. An odor molecule lands in your nose, reaches a cluster of nerve cells called the olfactory bulb, and from there takes a route that no other sense is allowed to take, almost straight to the amygdala, the seat of emotion, and the hippocampus, the place where long-term memories get built. No switchboard, no filtering, no delay. While a photograph is still waiting in line at security, a smell has already arrived. This isn't a modern quirk of human anatomy. It's the opposite. Smell's direct route to memory and emotion is the original sensory wiring, preserved for hundreds of millions of years, back before the thalamus even existed as a routing system at all. Every other sense got rerouted through it, later, as brains grew more complex. Smell simply never gave up its private line. More than a century ago, a French novelist described this exact experience, without knowing a single detail of the neuroscience behind it. In 1913, on a quiet evening at home, Marcel Proust published the opening volume of a novel called In Search of Lost Time. In it, his narrator, tired and a little low, is offered a cup of lime blossom tea and a small shell-shaped cake called a madeleine, almost as an afterthought, nothing special about the moment at all. His narrator dips a small shell-shaped cake into a cup of tea, and the moment the taste and smell reach him, something happens that he himself struggles to explain. A shudder, a sudden overwhelming pleasure, for no reason he can name. And then, all at once, an entire childhood comes flooding back, a town called Cambrai, a house, a garden, a specific aunt handing him the exact same cake on Sunday mornings, people he hadn't thought of in years, all arriving at once, unbidden, overwhelming. Proust wasn't describing a memory. He was describing a hijacking. Psychologists still call this the Proust phenomenon today, more than 100 years after he wrote it, because he happened to describe in exact, precise detail a piece of neuroscience nobody would understand for decades. Researchers have since confirmed it, again and again. Odor-triggered memories are rated as more emotional, more vivid, more overwhelming than memories triggered by a photograph or a sound. Brain scans show stronger amygdala activity during scent-triggered recall than almost any other kind. But here's the twist most people never hear. More emotional does not mean more accurate. Psychologist Rachel Hertz, building on earlier work by Trig Engen in the 1980s, found that scent-triggered memories feel more real, not because they're more correct, but because they arrived through a shortcut that skipped the part of your brain that would normally question them first. The feeling of certainty and the accuracy of the memory are not the same thing. Accuracy. One study, out of Utrecht, found something else worth sitting with. Scent-triggered memories tend to reach further back in time than memories triggered any other way, often landing specifically in childhood. That's likely because childhood is exactly when most of your smell memory pairs were first being formed. A specific soap, a specific meal, a specific room, encountered for the very first time, before the smell had anywhere else to attach itself. The particular laundry powder your mother used wasn't competing with 20 other years of laundry powders yet. It got the whole shelf to itself. The first, cleanest copy of that smell your brain had ever filed, with nothing else to overwrite it. Once that pairing is made, it can sit there, untouched, for decades, waiting for the exact right molecule to arrive again. There's a more serious side to this same shortcut, worth a moment, even if it's not where this story is going to stay. The same direct route that can hand you your grandmother's kitchen in half a second can also hand back a memory nobody would choose to relive, which is part of why specific scents can become genuine, involuntary triggers for people living with trauma. The wiring doesn't distinguish between a good memory and a painful one. It just delivers instantly whatever was tagged there first. So the next time a smell catches you off guard and pulls you somewhere you weren't expecting to go, you're not imagining how powerful it feels. Nothing is wrong with you, and nothing is being exaggerated. You're standing at the end of the only sense your brain never agreed to put behind a checkpoint. The same shortcut a French novelist described by accident in 1913. 100 years before anyone could show him exactly why he was right. Somewhere, tonight, someone will walk past a bakery, or open an old coat, or catch the smell of rain on warm pavement, and disappear, for one full second, into a kitchen, or a car, or a summer, that technically no longer exists anywhere except inside them. That's not sentimentality, that's just the oldest wiring in your head, doing exactly what it was built to do, long before anyone had a name for it.